So, you ever just have one of those nights, you just can't sleep? I'm lying there in bed, I'm tossing, I'm turning, and I had a pretty eventful day. I didn't sleep all day long. So I'm tossing and I'm turning, I can't sleep. There's things on my mind. Not even bad things, really good things, actually. And I don't know what to do, because I know I need sleep. So Abby, she's curled up beside my face. Abby's my cat, in case you didn't know. So Abby whispers in my ear. She says, just do a show. I know cats really don't talk. Just play along with me. So she said, just do a show. Abby, if I do a show, it's almost 4 a.m. Nobody's going to listen. And she said, do a show and they will come. So I'm going to give it a shot. And maybe I'll have at least one listener. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Either way, I'm okay. But then she reassured me that people would flock to the show within the next couple of days and listen to the archives. So we'll see how it goes. And see, people that are listening to this for the first time, they're going to be like, this guy talks to his cat. There ain't no way I'm listening to the Chris Top program.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Top.
Take it from the top.
Hi, I'm Chris Top. First off, I want to thank you for tuning into the Chris Top program. While I try my best to keep the show as rated PG-13 as possible, sometimes things slip out, or sometimes things happen, and that's just the way live radio goes. And because this is the internet, the FCC isn't around to tell me what I can and can't do. So because of the occasional slip-up or the guess that might get out of hand, you really need to be 18 or older to listen. If you happen to be under 18, please make sure you get your parents' permission. Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there wasn't that a back in 1970. We didn't know about the World War Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groove long hair, just walking in style with a portable MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. Chris Top program, Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program. Chris Top program. Wanna hear the music on the Chris Top program. Chris Top program. You can hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
Sonny Clarksville, Tennessee.
You can hear the talk in the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I am the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How in the heck are you, world? I should call this the morning edition, early morning edition of the Chris Top program. You know, I'm doing this at almost 4 a.m. because it's been about a month since I've done a broadcast. And that's way too long. And let me explain something to you. I'm very, very busy all of the time. And when I can't get on here and talk to you, it's almost like there's a piece of me that's missing. It's almost like there's a gap deep down within my soul, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So if I have to do a broadcast at 3:45 in the morning just to let you know I'm still around, just to let you know I'm not going anywhere, then that's what I'm going to have to do. In case you don't get it, when I do this broadcast, it's almost like I become a superhero. I put on my headphones, I turn my mic on, and it's my escape. It's my way to be invincible. So when you take that away from me, you take away something that's very important to me. So that is why I'm here at 3:45 in the morning. And I do love you all, and I appreciate whoever's out there listening, or whoever's going to listen tomorrow or the next day. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I will not, nor will I ever take you for granted. Now, let's get on with the show. Who's planning a trip to Disneyland this year? Well, you're not going to be able to go all economical, because listen to this. They've done what and did it. They hiked the price up to $92 a person. Yeah. Disneyland just got more expensive. And now wait, we're gonna talk about Michael Douglas in a minute. All right, see, I'm getting sidetracked already because I've got to talk about the man. I hate it. I absolutely freaking hate it when I like a celebrity and then they go and they say something just stupid. They say something just utterly ridiculous, and then I don't like them anymore. So if you tuned in to hear about Michael Douglas, just wait. All right? We're talking about Disneyland right now. So Disney raised the prices for visitors ages 10 and up, that includes me, to $92. And that's for either Disneyland or Disney California Adventure. But that's not both. If you want to do both, it's $137. So they give you a little bit of a deal. Now, if you're under 10, well, you're in luck. Because they're only going to charge you. Are you ready for this? See, how many of you thought I was going to say free? Raise your hand. They're going to charge you $86 per day. For little bitty kids. Little kids that might remember when they stood beside Mickey and they got their picture taken. But they're not going to remember a whole lot. But you're going to drop $86 on them a day. Now, people are not very happy about this. They've been talking on message boards and all over the internet just to vent how angry they are. But you know what? It's Disney. And when you have kids and all they want to do, all they ever want to do, and it will make them happy for the rest of their life, is they want to meet Mickey Mouse. They want to hang out with Goofy. You're going to take them. People are still going to flock to Disneyland. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? Whatever happened to summers where you just take your kids to the pool? You just go jump in the water. Have fun all day. Here's a floaty. Have a good time. I'm going to take a nap. Oh, and these amusement parks, they're exhausting. If you go on a vacation and you spend all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of your vacation at an amusement park, you're going to come back more exhausted than you were when you left. And on top of that, you're paying $92 a day to do it. Oh, not just for yourself, but if you happen to be married, then, for the ball and chain as well. And for your kids, so you're spending thousands of dollars to go back more exhausted than you were before you left. How in the hell does that even make sense? Oh, and I almost forgot. Parking has went up too. So they really screw you at every end. Oh, I've actually got listeners. I'm excited. We've got Odd Dad in the chat. Odd, it is good to see you, buddy. It's been months since I've talked to you. I am so happy to see you here. I really am. And Odd Dad says hello from the Netherlands. And it's always nice to know that you have a friend in the Netherlands. Because I never know when I'm going to wake up somewhere in the Netherlands and I'll know who to call or who to stay with. And we also have St. Clinton in the chat. And if you don't know who St. Clinton is, he's the guy that does that poetry show, and he does the love of poetry and spoken word, and that's my Clinton impression. But nobody can do that like Clinton. Now, he usually says something sarcastic. He says, "It's my man, it's my buddy, my pal. Oh, wait, it's that dang dork, Chris Top." I've been doing pretty good, man. I've just been staying busy, and it's just nice to get on here and broadcast a little bit, even if it's 4 a.m. here. And I explained a lot of that in the beginning of the show. But mainly I'm just here because I want to let people know that I'm still around. I haven't disappeared. I haven't went anywhere. I'm just busy. But I will warn you guys right now, I have some vacation time coming up. Not I think it's next week. I'm actually going to start some vacation time. And my plans are to hopefully get out of town at least for a couple of days. And just not do anything. And then I want to come back and spend the remainder, and I'm going to have like 9 days off. And I want to spend the remainder doing a lot of Spreakering. Is what I want to do. Now, see, Odd, you threw me off because I thought, wait a minute, I didn't know Odd Dad was from the Netherlands. But you're not, okay, so he's just there visiting the in-laws. So you're in Holland. Okay, so that sounds like a fun trip. What time is it in Holland right now? I'm thinking there's probably about a 6-hour difference or so. Oh, that's cool. See, I thought I was going crazy for a minute because I knew you weren't from the Netherlands, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've been gone way too long. Okay, so that makes more sense. And see, I was just acting like it was just a normal thing. And that's what us radio hosts do. Have you heard about what Michael Douglas said? And I explained this a few minutes ago. There are certain celebrities that I love. And I try to avoid when they do interviews. I try to avoid when they start talking about politics because I just want to go to the movies and I want to enjoy the movies. I don't want to see Tom Cruise on the Oprah Winfrey Show losing his mind. Because then I'm not going to enjoy Mission Impossible as much. And I dig Michael Douglas. I do. But now it's going to be difficult for me to watch a movie with him in it and not think about what he said about oral sex. And maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. Yesterday, Michael Douglas, he told the world that his tongue cancer, are you ready for this? His tongue cancer was caused by oral sex. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. But I think I know better than that. I think I might have a little bit of common sense. But, I could be wrong, too. Because there for a while, I think, was it red M&Ms that caused cancer? I don't know. See, everything causes cancer. It does. You could say thumping someone in the ear is going to cause ear cancer. And somebody out there is going to believe you. And maybe it does. I don't know. Because everything causes cancer, right? Now, evidently, sexual health experts, they said Douglas, his taste for cigarettes and alcohol was actually more likely to blame. I don't know. Oral sex, tongue cancer, cigarettes and alcohol. Let me think about it for a second. Why didn't he just say the cigarettes and the alcohol? Why didn't he just say that? Now, The Guardian, they licked him. They posted an audio file of their interview with Mr. Douglas, in which he clearly states, and this is what he says, this particular cancer is caused by something called HPV, which actually comes about from oral sex. And that's what he said. This is what I say. I say, if you're planning on having oral sex with somebody, don't smoke and drink while you do it. I mean, that could actually lead to some pretty messy spillage, maybe some unpleasant burns, some things like that. So you want to be careful. Michael Douglas, come on. Maybe it was the cigarettes and the alcohol. Okay, maybe that's the stuff you need to cut back on a little bit. And you could keep doing the oral thing if that's what you're into. And you should be fine. Can you believe that? Okay, so it's 11 o'clock in Holland in the morning. Odd Dad says sleep causes cancer, so I should be good tonight. No, listening to my show does not give you cancer, Clinton. Why would you even see? Somebody's going to believe you. And my zodiac sign is Cancer as well. I'm a crab. So Odd Dad says the zodiac sign Cancer causes cancer. Or either that or it causes crabs. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for listening, really. You know what? I'm going to do this. And this is going to be a really short show tonight just because I wanted to get it out of my system. And I wanted to tell everybody that, hey, I'm still here. I haven't went anywhere yet. So I do want to take this moment just to say, hey, if you're a dork, and Clinton, if you want to stand up, nobody's watching. I'll close my eyes. If you're a dork, now is the time to stand to your feet and declare your dorkhood, because I'm going to play the Dork National Anthem. And this was written for me and for the rest of the world by my good buddy Belgium Tim. And we call it the Wabba song. So if you're a dork, stand to your feet, place your hand over your heart, and I want you to say this. I'm a dork, I'm proud, and I'm hip. And we're going to follow it up with the Wabba rap by my good buddy Big Ed.
Working on being awesome every day. I'm working on being awesome every day. W-O-B-A-W-O-B and yeah, I'm working on being awesome every day. I'm not really awesome to this day, but I'm working on being awesome every day. I'm not awesome today, but I'll be one day.
Yeah, Big N in the building, representing the dorks. Dorks of the world unite, y'all. Yeah. Hey there, everybody, I got something to say. The sky ride over there is Wabba every single day. Okay, what is Wabba?
It gets so creepy cold thing.
No, dude, it's just a little dork singing. Well, W is working, O is on it, B is being, and A is for awesome, and that's the dork saying. I'm already awesome, but that's okay, cause Mr. Chris Top is too, but he just doesn't know it. And so are all of you from here on to the far. And just so you know, life is good and I'm gone.
Chris Top. Never awesome, but always Wabba.
That's kind of what it's about, right? Always the constant pursuit of being awesome, because if you really and truly reached awesome, what would there be left? What would there be left to strive for in your life if you ever truly reached that pinnacle where you could honestly call yourself awesome? And so many people just throw the term around. Oh, these greasy French fries from McDonald's, they're awesome. Saw the new Iron Man movie, it was awesome. It really wasn't, by the way. And they throw that around so loosely. I don't know anybody that's awesome. I don't know anyone. Anyone throughout history, I don't know. Now, I know that people are capable of doing awesome things, but I don't know about living a day-to-day life in the sunlight of awesomeness. I don't think that's possible. But I think it's okay to always be in pursuit of it, because that's all we can do is the best that we can. That's my take on it anyway. Now, you want awesome, then look outside during a thunderstorm. Watch that thunder crack and streak across the sky. That's pretty awesome. If you wanna know what awesome is, have some babies. Watch a live birth. That's pretty awesome. So to me, there's no fine line between French fries and a thunderstorm. All right. Now, I talked about McDonald's for a second there. Did you know that you can lose weight by eating at McDonald's? Excuse me one second. Bullshit. I had to clear my throat. And that's coming from the CEO of McDonald's. He says, don't blame us for those too tight jeans. And that's Don Thompson. And he announced that he lost 20 pounds last year by getting his butt up and working out again. And there's a lot of truth to what he's saying. I mean, a lot of people will blame fast food and anything else they can blame on America being obese, when I guarantee 99.9% of people know that if they eat chicken McNuggets every single day of their life for every meal, and all they do is sit around and watch soap operas or play video games, you're going to get fat. That's just the way it is. Now, if you eat chicken McNuggets every day of your life, and you still lead an active lifestyle, then maybe not so much. So we can't put all the blame on McDonald's. And I commend him for speaking out, because a lot of times these CEOs, they're afraid to speak out against stuff like that. But I think it's pretty cool that he actually said something. Now, Thompson, he also said that by comparison, Europeans, they have the option of a McDonald's nearby. Yeah, McDonald's is everywhere. We know that. But they walk a lot. And thus they are rarely very, very heavy. Duh, right? So if you want a Big Mac, why don't you walk to McDonald's? Wait a minute, is a Big Mac? No, wait, is that right? See, I don't even know. I get them all mixed up now. Is that McDonald's, the Big Mac? It is, yeah, Big Mac, duh, okay. So walk to get your Big Mac. Maybe you'll burn off like 10 calories. Of course, it's got like 50 quadrillion calories in it. But anyway, that's the CEO, Don Thompson, and he's speaking up in defense of McDonald's. We just need to stop blaming everybody else. We need to take control of our own lives, and if you want to lose weight, go lose weight. If you want to get fat, go eat at McDonald's all the time and don't do anything. It's pretty simple. It really is. But we just don't do it. We don't do it. What's going on? Odd Dad says, got a new radio gig. Granddad's record is now Odd Dad's Records on Live 365. And then Clinton says, once you've become awesome, the thing to strive for is to become a nerd, then a geek, which is the highest level. The geek shall inherit the earth. See, he's always talking smack. Thinks he knows, but he don't. I am the one and only Chris Top. I will be back. I've got a couple of things. I think I'm going to do a 300 seconds on the couch, and I'll get back and talk a little bit more. But like I said, this is going to be a short show just because I needed to get it out of my system. I had to get on here and let you guys know that I'm still around, and be looking for a few broadcasts, especially during my vacation. I'm hoping I'm going to get the chance to do one every day, at least for a few days, just like old times. And you know what would be really cool? If people actually listened and I got back in the top 10, that would be really cool. It's kind of hard to stay visible when you do a broadcast every couple of weeks, every month. So I don't know. It'll be fun to broadcast every day again for a little while anyway, 5 or 6 days. We'll just see how it goes.
Hello,
fellow citizens. This is the latest in dork news from around the world. Those wacky potheads may not be as high as they think. They may have our milk money, but we still have all of our brain cells. Fellow dorks, never fear. Those mean girls who steal your bike every day are going to soon end up in Jailsville. Let's see how life looks behind the slammer. Not so much fun making knives out of soap just to survive, is it, ladies? Remember, kids, be a dork, be proud, be hip.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
Oh, baby, let's get ready for 300 seconds on the couch.
I really don't know it's going to take 300 seconds.
I get paid by the hour.
I didn't realize girls had nipples until I was 16.
And you did what again?
Well, yeah, I'm 39 years old and I make ringtones. You know, ringtones?
And how did that make you feel, Chris?
So, Laura, what do you say you expose those knockers for me today, baby?
Mr. Top, that's not very professional. By the way, my name's not Laura.
I'm sorry, Laura. You know, I've just been talking about douchebags on my radio show all week. And you know what they say about walking a mile in a man's shoes. So I decided to experiment. I became a douchebag for a week. And that's why I asked to see your knockers. I'm just trying to stay in character.
You should tell me about your week, Chris. What did you learn from your experiment?
Well, Doc, honestly, I think I learned that I'm much better off just being a dork. So the typical day of a douche for me just started like this. I would get up in the morning, I would put a bunch of hair gel in my hair, and then I'd put these sunglasses on, you know, the kind that you can see yourself in. I put on a muscle t-shirt, like one of those tank tops that was really too small for me. The particular muscle shirt that I picked out didn't have a V-neck, so I went ahead and cut one in it. And I made sure my pants hung down past my butt, you know, so my puffy boxers showed. And then when I bend over just right, the ladies can see my butt crack. We all know the ladies like a little butt crack, right, Laura? That's actually a good place to put your cell phone, too. I spent most of the morning just walking through the grocery store and kind of hanging out. You know, I'd cut in front of people. I actually even lit up a cigarette in the produce section. I got kicked out. A little bit later on, I went to the local park and I noticed this family was having a picnic. So I just kind of strutted on in there. First guy I saw, I punched him in the face.
Oh my gosh, you punched someone in the face? What happened?
Well, first off, I didn't know he was a priest because he didn't have that little white collar thing on. Besides that, you wouldn't think priests could fight as well as he could. Last thing I remembered was his fist right in my face, then I woke up in jail. I found out real quick when you're a douchebag in jail, you become somebody's bitch.
So you spent the week in jail?
I don't really want to talk about that, Laura. I found that spending a week in jail really does something to a man. It changes you. Like from the inside out. But I was obligated to be a douchebag. Once I set my mind on something, I really do try to follow through. I had 3 hours left to be a douchebag, and by gosh, I was going to use it. So I leave the prison and I say goodbye to Tyrone. First place I head to is a bar. I figured if I'm going to pick a fight, people at bars are typically looking for fights. So I'm in the right place.
Okay, let me get this straight. So you get out of prison for fighting, and then you go to a bar to get into another fight.
Right, so I walk in the bar, true douche form. My hair gel's still in. Got my sunglasses on, I'm flexing my muscles. Everything's going my way. So I see this chick sitting over by the bar. I approached her full of confidence. A newfound confidence, because usually I'm a little nervous around women. So I go up to her, and I say, I would ask to sit beside you, but it looks like your ass is taking up both seats. Right away, she stands up, she takes a couple of steps back, and I said, wait a minute, where's the beep? Then I asked her if she'd like to go boink.
So, Chris, did you get lucky?
I think I would have had a shot, but as soon as I saw her boobs, I recognized her. The priest that punched me in the face a few days before, it was his daughter.
Oh my, what happened?
Well, Doc, she punched me in the face. And to top it all off, her brother, the cop, was sitting beside her. So I got arrested again.
So he arrested you for telling his sister that she had a big butt?
No, he arrested me for exposing myself. I just don't think I'm cut out to be a douche.
Why did you expose yourself?
Well, I wasn't totally exposed. Here, let me show you.
No.
I am the one and only Chris Top, self-proclaimed leader of all dorks.
I'm Chris Top, king of the dorks. That's right.
Yeah, I remember growing up when I was a little kid, my mom was so sweet. She would say things like, "Thank God, Chris, there's only one of you because you are so very special."
There is only one Easter Bunny, there's only one Jesus Christ, there's only one God, and there's only one Chris Top.
I am the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view.
Actually, that's not true. I live next to a dumpster.
Meow! Shut up, Abby. Keep quiet. Yes, I know. I don't really have an ocean view. I have a view of the local hobo singing around a burning dumpster, but I don't want my fans to know that.
Does Chris Top have a mysterious side, a darker side, if you will? Well, I guess I do. You could compare my life to the Da Vinci Code.
C for Chris Top. H for holy mackerel, it's Chris Top.
Well, I don't know if my show would make sense if you played it backwards, but I do have a few things right in front of your face.
R for really awesome, Chris Top. I for I can't believe, it's Chris Top. S for somebody pinch me, it's Chris Top.
Am I conceited? Am I conceited? No, I'm not.
T for terrific, Chris Top. O as in oh my god, it's Chris Top. And P for party time with me, Chris Top. Oh God.
Well, the ladies do like their Chris Top.
Oh God.
Well, that's it for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, life is good.
And I'm gone.
I always like that. I always like that that little promo. It's one of my my more favorite ones. Now, I know that some people would probably appreciate this. I don't know any of these people personally, but I'm sure they're out there. But there was a guy that got a special delivery in the mail. This happened in Sacramento, California. To George Burton is his name. He returned from work. And this happened, I think, one day last week. And he found this large FedEx Kinko's box, I guess at his doorstep. Now, his dog sitter had actually brought it inside. And this is what he opened it to find. 11 pounds of marijuana. Now, I know that there's some people out there that would be pretty ecstatic about that. Now, I would probably be more along the lines of what George did. See, I would be scared because that's a lot of pot. You know, somebody's probably going to be looking for that. I would not smoke it and be very paranoid because I would be very worried that they're going to show up relatively soon to get their 11 pounds of marijuana. Now, he said, my name, my address were handwritten on this package as a return address, is what he said. So I'm guessing somebody that shipped it didn't want, they just picked out his address out of the blue. I'm guessing. So FedEx delivers anything, huh? I wonder what they said was inside of it. Anyway, he says he turned the pot into police. And they said the street value on the 11 pounds of Mary Jane was $24,000. He had $24,000 worth of marijuana in a FedEx box delivered to his house. And he's still scared that somebody's going to come looking for it. And he's right. People have gotten hurt for a lot less than $24,000 worth of marijuana. Now, he's posted signs that alerts anyone who might show up that he doesn't have the stash, and he's actually upgrading his security system. So that would be kind of scary, wouldn't it? Now, I'm assuming that he would have probably reacted the same way had he gotten just $24,000 worth of cash delivered to him. I'm guessing. But for some reason, that's a little less scary, isn't it? I mean, you know that there's got to be something really wrong if you get that much money delivered to you. But I think people would be more likely to spend that than actually try to sell the marijuana. Have you seen the picture of the guy that works at Taco Bell. And I figured Taco Bell was appropriate to talk about after talking about marijuana. Because, if you have the munchies, then that could be a good destination. Well, unless you see this picture. But you should Google it. Google guy licking tacos at Taco Bell or something like that. Just disgusting. It really is. And there's so many jokes out there. But I'm not going to do that right now. And I don't know, maybe you think that a photo of a guy in a Taco Bell uniform licking a stack of taco shells is hilarious. Or maybe it's disgusting. I guess it depends on whether or not you eat at Taco Bell. But he's got this stack of tacos, pretty big stack, and he's got his tongue touching them, and it's like he's licking them like a lollipop. It's really gross. It really is. So whoever posted the picture, they pretty much fall under the disgusting camp. And it says a lot about the employees, I think. About the food treatment. And what they post on the internet. But now there is somebody that did post. So, if you do eat at Taco Bell, then there is some hope. Because one person that actually posted on this, he says that, and he rushed to the liquor's defense. He says, he insisted that the shells were destined for the trash bin and not public consumption. But, when I see something like that, and I know this could happen at any restaurant, I know that. But it makes me think twice, about going to Taco Bell. Just because I picture this guy licking the taco. So if you like Taco Bell, maybe you shouldn't look at the picture. Now, this survey, this was actually taken, I think it was taken in Britain. And now look, I know that there are probably quite a few Brits listening right now, because I know that, the time difference, it's later in the morning there. So I'm not picking on you. This is just where the survey came out of. Now, I'm sure that it's just as bad, if not worse, here. Almost 1/3 of British elementary school students, they think that cheese is made from plants. They think it comes from plants. So out there, there's somewhere out there, there's a farmer that spent all day planting cheese. And this fall, it's going to be a big fall because the cheese harvest is coming in. So, and 1/4 of them think that fish sticks are made from chicken or pigs. Because everything tastes like chicken. I thought I was going to be a smart shopper one time. And I went to where was it? I guess it was Walmart. But I saw this ginormous box of fish sticks. And I remember eating fish sticks as a kid. And they weren't half bad. I remember it being pretty enjoyable. I would throw a little ketchup on my plate and take my fish sticks and dip them in the ketchup and eat them. And they were pretty good. But these fish sticks, they tasted like cardboard battered in something. They were horrible. I ate like 4 of them, and then they sat in my freezer. I don't know why I ate 4. I should have stopped at 1, I know. But then I had this giant box of fish sticks in my freezer for like a year because I hate throwing away food. I thought, well, there might be a day that I'm really hungry, but it never happened. Never happened. They were horrible. But it was like the cheap, 1,000 fish sticks for $2. See, and I should have known better. But anyway, they think that fish sticks come from chicken or pigs. And this poll was actually conducted by the British Nutrition Foundation. Somewhere out there, there's a cow, and then there's like a fisherman. They're just weeping on each other's shoulders. Now, the kids' confusion, it's actually even more widespread. The survey also found out that 1/3 of kids ages 5 to 8, they believe that pasta and bread are made of meat. Meat and wheat do rhyme. So I can see how there might be some confusion there. What is it today? What are we teaching our kids? When I was growing up, I knew that a steak came from a cow. I knew milk came from a cow, and I knew that cheese came from milk. I knew this stuff. Now, I did think, though, I thought for the longest time that spaghetti grew in trees. But I knew it wasn't a meat. And, I thought, this is totally different, but I thought that clouds actually came from jets. Well, you know how when jets, they fly overhead and they leave the white stuff behind them? Well, I thought that's what made clouds. I mean, later on I found out I was wrong, like a year ago, but still. But I don't know. It's just odd, isn't it? And Odd Dad called it taco hell. Yeah, I mean, when you see a picture of a guy like that looking at his tacos, and see again, insert your own jokes. And I used insert. Really? Anyway, this is the Chris Top program, and I hate this. I hate to do this because I would love to go a whole hour, but it's been about 40 minutes, so I do need to get some kind of sleep because I do have to work a little bit later today. But I promise you, I'm going to try to do more broadcast. I have not went anywhere. I'm still around, and I love spending time with you. I love putting on my headphones. I love firing up my microphone, and I love broadcasting. I do. I really, really do. I have not forgotten about any of you. And, on a more personal, greedy note, I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to stop broadcasting just because I just love doing it. I don't just do it for you. I do it for me. And it works out, I think, for both of us. So, until I broadcast again, please remember this. And, I don't just say this to say it at the end of every show. There are certain things that I do say in every show, and I know I repeat myself a lot. But there are certain points that I really, really want to hit home with everybody. So the things that I do repeat, I'm serious about. I mean it. So until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and I'm gone.
Is it over yet?
Completely over. You have been exposed to the Chris Top program.
Yeah, okay, are we done? I really gotta get a life.
Now, those of you that do listen to my program, you know that whenever I leave, I don't really leave, I usually come back. And that's sort of a tradition that started, I guess, probably a year ago. Because I didn't start right out doing that. Just because I know that there are some people that listen to the show, and then I know that there are some people that actually hear the show. And this is for the people that hear the show, just that extra little bit of something that maybe we can talk about. And really, I don't know what I want to talk about. Oh, this sounds like fun. This is like any dad's nightmare right here. It really is. Okay, when you were growing up, did you ever grab a couple of dollars out of your dad's wallet? Maybe you took the credit card and they didn't know it one time, and you went and bought a 6-pack or something, something stupid. Well, there's a 16-year-old that is definitely going to remember his first drink. Because it contributed. Are you ready for this? I know what you're thinking. I'm going to say $500, maybe a couple of thousand. It contributed to a $54,000 bar tab. This is epic. If you're going to get in trouble, why not go all out? Why not get in deep trouble if you're going to do it at all? You might as well have a day to remember. Because a lot of times parents say they're going to ground you for life anyway, but they don't ever usually stick to that, right? So, I mean, why go and charge a few beers? Why go to the strip club and get some cash out and get a couple of lap dances when you can go all the way with $54,000? Now, the boy and his friend, they actually stole his father's platinum credit card and they toured a bunch of high-end clubs, drinking whiskey and wine that cost up to $3,700 per bottle. Now, this happened in Japan. Okay, so some of the money... And see, you don't think that something like this would happen in Japan. You think it would happen here. So maybe the Japanese are a little more epic than we are. Now, some of the money was also spent on paying attractive women to hang around with them and laugh at their witty remarks. And that's actually a job for attractive women in Japan. See, I'd be set. If I could do that here, I would hire attractive women every night that I did a broadcast to sit right here in my living room and just laugh. I may have to say, okay, that was supposed to be funny, but then they laugh. And eventually they'd get to know me because they would learn my facial expressions, my hand gestures, and things like that. And when I am trying to make a joke that fails, which it usually does, then they would know to laugh. So that would work out really, really well. So anyway, this past Tuesday, there was a judge that ruled that the bar owners and the credit card companies share most of the responsibility. And they ordered the boy's father to pay about $7,800, about $8,000 for the bill. And then American Express is actually going to eat the rest. Now, what do you think about that? I mean, is it the dad's responsibility to hang on to his credit card? I mean, it seems like it would fall on the parent. But then again, it is a credit card. And, you know, when you've got a 16-year-old going around buying liquor, you'd think somebody might say something. Especially if he's buying $3,700 bottles of liquor. You'd think somebody would be like, nah, something doesn't seem right about this. You know, something just doesn't seem right about that kid buying this $4,000 bottle of liquor. But evidently, nobody spoke up. I guess they just assumed that it was a prince from another country. I don't know what they were assuming. But that's interesting. I mean, I would think that in this situation, and this is my opinion, I would think that most of the responsibility would fall on the bars, and maybe they would have to just eat that. Maybe they would have to pay that money back. But I still think, too, you know, when you're 16 years old, you do know better. So some of the responsibility, I think, should fall on the 16-year-old, too. They shouldn't just let them off the hook. But it is kind of cool if they did, because that makes it even more epic. If you ran a $54,000 bar tab and you got away with it without having to spend a dime. See, that's pretty cool. But I'm sure their dad's going to figure out something to make them pay the $8,000 back. So that gives me an idea, though. You could always get your kids to go max out your credit card and buy you cool stuff that you want, and then just say, hey, wait a minute, I didn't give them permission to do that. So then you get free stuff. So that's an idea as well. But thank you guys again. I really do appreciate you. And see, our dad knew. He stuck around. He said it was the Chris Top Encore. And he asked if I have a laugh track. You know, I do. There's a laugh track in here somewhere. But that's just not good enough for me. I would rather have two attractive Japanese women. Maybe one sitting on my right side, one sitting on my left side. And just every time I said something witty, they would laugh. See, that would be better for me than a laugh track. Anytime I think of laugh track, I think of MASH. I mean, I grew up watching MASH, and if you watch enough of them, you can kind of tell when the laugh track starts over again, because there was this one particular laugh that I always recognized in every show. And when I was young, for the longest time, I thought, wow, that guy in that audience that laughs like that, he shows up for every taping of MASH. He must be like a big fan of the show. No, now if they sat in my lap, I don't know that I would get anything done. And see, really and truly, you know, if I had attractive women sitting in my lap, giggling and laughing at everything that I said. I don't think I can function. I don't, just because that's just not who I am, odd dad. But thank you, buddy. I appreciate you for coming by. And this time, I am really out of here. And I'll say it again. And when I say it, I do mean it. Life is good. And I'm going to be back soon, I promise. And I'm gone.
The countdown has begun.
Minus 10, 9,
Oh yeah, I had every intention of staying away from Spreaker.
8, 7,
But I've experienced this sheer outpour of love.
6, 5,
And I could never turn my back on the 3 people that listen to my show.
4, 3,
Yeah, I'm coming back. And I'll tell you why.
2, 1, 0.
Because I'm Chris Top, bitch.
The Chris Top Program, the alternative to the garbage on Spreaker.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.